next to the stairs. If you could so kindly put it there, I would greatly appreciate it because I'm counseling students right now. So yes, I'll just put it on top of 208. Thank you so much, Spencer. I really wanted to see you, but I couldn't make it. So yes, thank you. Have a good night. Bye bye. Okay. Yeah. So now we're here with Bree. We're live with Bree. I almost stepped out of this office and Bree called, and I was on the. I had these little ear things in my head, and then beep, 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 beep. I'm like, who's calling me now? It's 8 o'clock. This can't be good. It's another funeral. It'd be the fifth funeral this week. And then it was Bree, and I was so happy to hear Bree. Did you know they had four funerals last week, Bree?
Yeah, you told me one of them was your best friend.
Yeah, I gave a debrief last night, and now I just got off the phone with a student overseas, and the student have very severe psychological diagnosis and trying to manage it on their own without medication or talk therapy. And they're like, oh, I found this tradition and it's a one pointed meditation technique. Who's guiding you? Who's good giving you instructions? No one. And then I'm not gonna have it. I'm not gonna have it. And I said, listen, you're trying to manage this psychological problem that is a very serious problem in the DSM-5, and you're trying to manage it on your own without medical professional help. And then the student proceed on, and I'm not going to release the student's name or diagnosis for the sake of HIPAA law, even though this is overseas. I respect people's privacies. And then the student tells me, "Oh, this is genetic. My mother's got it." And then, "Oh, this is and my uncle died of this." And I'm like, "And you want to die like them, right? You want to die just like your uncle, right?" Because that's what I'm hearing in my ears right now. The fact that you're not taking medication and you're trying to handle this on your own. So, and I'm like, you know what? You're trying to play doctor to yourself and you're trying to be a lawyer. You're trying to be a lawyer and a doctor to yourself. How well is that working out for you? And the student was just clueless. And I'm like, well, we're having this conversation because I care about you and I don't want you to suffer anymore. And if, you're not a doctor, okay? You're trying to be a lawyer in your head illness. I don't know. You don't know about your illness. You don't read about it, but you have a bachelor's in what? Uh,
That is
I'm
insane.
not
Like,
having it. I'm not having it. I'm just not having it. I find myself changing, and I'm a different teacher now. We're not gonna play that game. And the excuses to me, it doesn't work anymore. They're so funny. It's like when you do this for so long, they try to this is the crux and the center of the problem, and they run around and around and around. And I know I'm like the rodeo guy with the little thingy that the rodeo guy just catches them. And I catch them in every single corner, and I'm like, "What else do you have for me? Because it's not working." Next, yeah, what's your next excuse?
anything new?
I really enjoy this, Brie. I really enjoy being a Buddhist psychotherapist because I get to see it unfolded very quickly in a matter of minutes. As soon as they start doing this, I start to realize what's happening already.
It's you definitely want to get a licensed professional with serious things, like to help you, not yourself, because not everything might work for everybody. That's so dangerous.
I will. Yeah, it's all I can say is it's in the delusional spectrum of the DSM-5, and that's a very serious type of issue. So stop. And then what my job is to tell people is to stop. You stop running. Stop. You're not a doctor. You're not good at this. And even if you were a doctor, don't try to treat yourself because it ain't gonna turn out too well. So that was fun. I nowadays I just look at it as fun instead of taking it and making it frustrating. And I'm just like, not a lawyer. Don't play lawyer. And then the student goes, my father wanted me to be a lawyer, and I'm like, well, right now you're a very bad lawyer right now, because I'm the judge, and I can tell you if you're a bad lawyer or not. I've been in the courtroom for 18 years. Right now, not a good lawyer. Not
You're
good.
not selling it.
You're not selling it. Okay, you're losing your case.
Jeez.
Miserably losing your case. All right. So what's going on, young lady? You bring a smile to my face tonight.
Well, I'm glad after the week it sounds like you've had already.
I'm just chilling. It is what it is, and so it is.
It is what it have you said before? It is what it is, and it isn't what it isn't.
It is what it is, and it can't be what it ain't. Can't be what it
Well,
ain't.
I mean, I went home. I ended up actually going home for the weekend because my sister was graduating from college, so I went for that, and then I ended up surprising my mom for Mother's Day. So I
Mm.
spent Mother's Day with her. Mother's Day is always kind of a weird experience because, like, she's not a mom in the sense of, like, I think other people look at their moms on Mother's Day, but she also, like, birthed me. So she's, like, physically my mom. But she hasn't been a mom for a lot of my life. And it's becoming better now, but it's just, like, a really weird relationship, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
We gave a talk today about an ancient story, and about moms and how the ancient stories qualities of how they practiced thousands of years ago, and whether or not women can realize that path nowadays. I just gave my contribution already. So, you know, yeah, it's a lot of complexities with the art of being a mother, which is tough. And I think I hit it dead on the spot with the contribution when I gave it, which is, you know, pretty much y'all was not ready to be a parent. Y'all done did what y'all did, and now you guys are a parent. And some of you guys pass on some genetic materials to some of these kids, and it is not pretty. It is not pretty. Some of the deaths that I have witnessed this week, I saw the mom and I saw the child, and I'm like, you gave this genetic thing to this child, and this child is identical to you. The craziness in you. And I was like, oh, holy damn. Oh, holy damn. Oh, it's so apparent and real in front of me to see the passing of certain alleles and chromosomes and the DNA makeup from the mother to the child, and the child was messed up to no end. And I'm looking at the mom and I'm like, this child got it from you. You passed this down. You passed this down. You know that you passed this down?
Half the time I don't. Like,
You
there's like
did this.
an
You
actual.
did this to this child, and now you don't care. Oh hell! It was just the other day that I was counseling to the entire family. I'm sitting there and I'm like, y'all don't care, do y'all? Because I just told you what the problem is. I just told you the how we're gonna solve this problem, and they chose the path where they didn't have to make any effort. And I saw it dead in their face, and I was like, oh, 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 Felicia, wait till you get there. Wait, just wait for it. Karma's got something waiting for you. Karma's got waiting for you. Let me hold on. I bought things so that I can teach props. Let me show you something very gruesome. Viewer discretion advised.
I always feel like it's actually gonna be really fluffy and cute.
It ain't cute. Look at it.
Oh my gosh, it's tight. Is it made out of
It's plastic,
blood
folks. It ain't
vessels?
real. It's plastic. See, it's very plasticky. It's plastic. All right, it's used. It's used. I'm gonna put it right here. You know what? This is what karma's got waiting for
Oh my
certain
gosh,
certain kind of people. Y'all can see that. Y'all can see that. Yeah,
that's a violent end.
y'all see that, right? Oh hell. Oh, living hell. Oh, I am like a couple months away from being a John, and now I feel like an John, and I now talk like an John, which is a senior teacher. And I just have very little patience to the BS of the world that surrounds me, and I hope I have delivered my medicine in a very potent way to some of these individuals that have been playing a little too long, playing a little too hard, and that they did, and they keep up and they keep playing. And I'm like, no biological father in the picture. And now we got who is this guy again sitting next to you? And he don't care either. And the whole time I'm talking, and I know what I'm talking about, the guy's eyes is kind of like thinking about what's happening. What are you thinking about? You've been in this woman's life for 16 years. You got a messed up, beautiful child. The child has very superior intelligence above all the other kids. You're sitting here still spinning that thing in your head, so you're trying to play lawyer too. You're trying to weigh in all the evidence. Oh hell! See?
That's what my parents used to do. Uh, like when I was trying to kind of explain a way. So like they found some stuff out about my past, and most people when they find this kind of stuff out, they would want to know, oh, how are you doing? Like, do you need anything? But my parents spent over an hour explaining to me how great of parents they were and that anything that I did was not their fault. Which I'm not saying it is necessarily, because I was an adult that can make my own choices, but it was funny watching them almost like make themselves feel better and completely take themselves out of the picture. And I was like, well, I'm fine. Thanks for asking, guys. It was the funniest conversation.
Oh, this is where I teach you to direct and redirect. And sometimes you have to just sit there and say, "Excuse me, are you listening to yourself? Excuse me, do you realize that at the time of this talk you are delusional?" And then they're gonna fire back, and then that's all you keep saying for the next like 3 minutes, which is a very long time, 180 seconds. You keep on saying you're delusional. But I raised you the best you're delusional. But I bought you you're delusional. But I got you that new car. You're delusional. But I raised you until the best you're delusional. But I loved you the best you're delusional. But my mother was really mean to me too. You're delusional. You know? We're a Catholic and you're delusional. And you're delusional. And then, at some point, hopefully you get tired of saying that and you're like, do you get the point what I'm trying to say to you?
Oh my gosh. Half of it was like, I almost wanted at one point just be like, are you even listening to what's coming out of my mouth? Or there was actually a perfect video today that made me think of exactly this moment. And it was actually, funny enough, a speech that Jim Carrey did, where he, I guess, was like a 2-time Grammy winner or something like that, whatever these major awards are. And he went out and his speech was entirely sarcastic based. Like if you listen to what he said, some of his speech was that what they were inflating and making being such a big deal about him meant absolutely nothing. And it didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, it was pointless. But because the way he was telling it and he was joking, people were laughing, thinking he was being sarcastic. And it was so funny because it was almost like people were hearing, but they weren't listening to what he was saying. That's exactly like pretty much most of the conversation with my parents is they hear it, but they don't listen to what I say.
So, yeah, I know, whatever. So, just moving on forward, you're a grown adult now, so it's pointless, turning the table back on them and, just move. Now it's just part of just moving forward, and the whole time remain in your head, they're delusional. And you're delusional. And you just tell them, you're a lawyer. You're a very irresponsible lawyer. I don't want to hear it. You're not making the case. The case is not going to go through today. Your motion for appeal is denied. You had 30 days to appeal. Your motion is denied. You just have to play that game to them. And then you become this brick wall, and they can't get through to you. Because the point of people trying to pitch information is to see if you buy it. And then you keep like this wall right there, and it doesn't, it's not going to take effect. So it's just like, and then pretty soon, you will have the throne jurisdiction over, the BS in the family. So hopefully you become that next new leader on there. So
that'd be nice.
Before I ask you questions about your week. week. I just wanted to share this story with you personally today. And today, my one of my distant far aunt um, took a nun to this office, and they needed something, and I said, "Sure, I'll take the nun to the Social Security office." And then my aunt was like, "What? You're a monk?" And I'm like, "You're delusional.
She didn't know you were a monk.
You were at my ordination. Y'all brought food and put at the door." And she sent me a picture of when I was ordained, picture I didn't even have anymore, and she has it like this woman done went to her phone 9 years ago. She took this picture, and it was like right there, probably like in her favorites, like of 10, and sent it to me. And she's like, "What is your Buddhist name again?" And I'm like, "You're delusional." And then she tells me this. Actually, she apparently both of them were here with my dad, and I wasn't here. And the Buddhist nun, who was also at my ordination, she's very intact, memory, very intact. And she goes, when you're not there, your father's very proud of you for all of the monastic stuff that you're doing right now. And I was like, I know Suko. I know he is, even though he doesn't say it. I know he is. And I had to rise above all of the family BS and my own family BS, and and I just had to move up and move on with my own family narrative. Mother's Day just passed yesterday, and I'm like, "Hello, what do you guys want to do?" just look at this face right here, and I'm like, "What do you want to do? You want to go eat? What do you want to do?" And my mom's like, "Yeah, I want to go eat." I'm like, "It's Mother's Day. We should not eat on a Mother's Day because there's 5 million people right now trying to find parking. So we do it before or after." And she's like,
That is
"Okay."
true.
It's just I'm so over it. Just my face at this stage in my life. So hopefully the point of this is to inspire all of you who have that type of a narrative in your life. Just pick yourself back up and just keep on going, and they'll recognize it. Just do your thing. Just do your thing. Just care less of what they got to say. Just do your thing. But right now, I'm concerned about my aunt. And I'm like, "What? You're concerned? What? Concerned about my aunt?" And I'm like, "What? You're concerned? What? You didn't know I was a monk? What monk? Hello? Are you on the same planet?" 'Cause I've been live streaming and 9 years ago, nine, a decade, nine. You don't hello? My name is what there's one letter in my name in conjunction with my teacher's name that you still go to the temple and call his name until this day. And you forgot one part of my name in his name, my preceptor. You're delusional. I'm so done. I'm so done. I'm so done with people. And my own aunt. I'm so done with her.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Maybe
gosh.
tomorrow I call her and be like, "By the way, now would you like to make merit and donate the 9 years that you were absent from my life with interest, Auntie?"
Like you might need to pay up a little bit after that.
I'm gonna play so many games.
After that.
I'm gonna play so many games tomorrow. I'm gonna take all of my frustration out tomorrow on her. I'll be like, "Hi." I'm just gonna play like just fun, just for fun, folks, just for fun. No pun intended. Just for fun. Just gonna call her and be like, "Hi." So for the memory thing, now that you find out 9 years of my life that you were not present for and was not participating in, and you didn't even climb online to find out what I was doing and how I'm changing the world, well, you want to make up for it by writing a very nice check to the office of Venerable Chidao.
Why don't you actually do it?
I'm not gonna do that. That's it's not in me to do that. Okay. All right. So what else has been going on?
Other than that, I watched my sister graduate, and that was really awesome. My aunt showed up, the one that I was in New York with. I didn't even know she was gonna be there, so she showed up. It's like a family reunion, basically. And then I also went and saw some of my friends while I was down in Charlotte. And that was pretty much it. It was a very busy weekend.
Mm.
I was running around everywhere.
Mm. Any okay, awesome. So work home school balance still good? Awesome.
Yeah, nothing crazy going on there.
Awesome. Any additional reading in the biography of the Buddha?
Yeah, no, I'm still making way. I'm almost done with it. My surprise trip to Charlotte kind of ruined it a little bit, but I am almost done with it. Probably like a couple more pages, and then I can move on to the next big book to read.
Any questions on the book?
I have questions that kind of generated from thought while reading the book. Yeah, let me get to them. I have like a whole like notes page.
Did you write it out or did you type it out?
Type it out.
I'm dead.
Should I write it out? What I like about typing it out is I have a set of notes that when I ask the question, I give it a check mark so that I remember I asked the question.
Let me tell you something about novice Ethan this week we had a house blessing and I said, look, we have this house blessing. I want you to chant with me the 3 refuge and homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa buddhang saranang gacchami dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami panatipata varamanisika adinadana varamanisika kamesu michajara. And I'm like, write it out. Ain't nothing wrong with my English, right? Write it out. I didn't say type it out. I said write it out. Write it out. And oh my God, this kid was typing it, took a screenshot and sent it to me. I died. Every part of my soul and body died. And I realized this is the generation that's happening right now. Because you see, you don't get the clinical benefits of you have to write it out. You have to write it out. And so I'm going to want to share something with you.
I'm going to have to write it out now. I think I just found a new journal.
Oh, I almost fell. Okay. All right. Maybe that thing should.
Don't wipe out.
Okay. So let me tell you that there's 3 little. No, this one is more visible. Okay. It says field notes and Buddhism. Field notes and Buddhism. Everyone can see that? Field notes. It's got a date on it because it's already been completed. Field notes and Buddhism. Okay. All right, and it has a date. It says 0124, January 24th, 22 to February 5th, 22. What? Really?
That's like a lot of writing.
Whoa. I don't believe that. Hold on. And anyway, it pretty much has what the hell? It pretty much has my clinical notes that I work out in the world. Okay, well, I guess I was doing more Buddhism than clinical notes. But then you have a second one. This one. This one says November 2nd, 22 to February 23. Okay.
All right.
All right. For exhibition. Your Honor, I'd like to submit this as Exhibit 2. Okay, Exhibit 2. Your Honor, I may call the witness to the stand. I'd like to submit Exhibit 3. And this is the most latest one, I believe, which is, this is before going to Vietnam. 3/21/23 to 1/2/24. Okay. All right. There you go. Exhibit 3 for a nation. Thank you. Under penalty of perjury. All right. You all may have a seat. Okay. So these are handwritten. I don't want to. Make sure there's no.
Can you read your own handwriting?
I can. I just make sure that there's no HIPAA stuff on here. All right. Oh, the biography of the Buddha is in here. Your book is right here.
Nice.
Your Honor, I'd like to submit Exhibit 4 for examination across all social media platforms at this time. Biography of the Buddha, and I'll tell you exactly what page. See? Write it out, not type it out. Page 132. Would you like to meet me at 132, Madam?
That's where I'm
Madam Bree.
Let's see if I marked the same part.
Because if I wrote it down, it is important. It is platinum and gold going to fly out of my mouth if I wrote it down. What's your book title again? Biography of the Buddha, right?
Yeah, it's the biography of Sakyamuni,
Okay. All right. Hopefully yeah, it's gotta be the same book. All right. So
written
page.
by Venerable Master Sing Yun.
I hope so. All right. So page 132, huh? Can you find the paragraph that says we all have minds as disorderly as wild monkeys? We all have minds as disorderly as wild monkeys.
Oh, yep, there it is.
Oh, we got the right book.
It's only because I highlighted that whole paragraph.
Oh, it meant something to you also.
Yeah.
So all day long they are bound by desire and have no freedom at all. Page 133. But I look upon your compassionate expression and see that you are free of worldly defilements. When I look at you, my own mind is calm. Your face is like a brilliant full moon, like the gentle surface of still waters. And then of rare and noble characteristics, page 133, affliction is a frightening enemy, but I have conquered it with the sword of wisdom. I have no more arrogance, not a slave to fame, nor a servant to benefit. I am ready to undertake that task so that those with good roots and karmic connections may be liberated. All right, why are we doing this right now? Because Madame Brie, even though I'm very good at writing, I still forget stuff like this. And now that I have bought these very beautiful, cheap but beautiful journals, leather, real leather. Where did they go? And I shared this yesterday. Hold on. Um, give me 1 second. It's right around the corner here. Okay, I'm back. I'm here.
I'm excited to see your journals because I love journals. I also got one over the weekend. See?
Oh,
it's
look
also
at
nice leather.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now see, this is from Barnes and Noble for $20. And then
Love Barnes and Noble.
it's real leather. It smells like leather, and then you have blank pages so that your mind can run free and wild, young and free. There you go. You're not bounded by lines because every time I see lines, it stresses me out. Okay. So now,
see, that's the exact opposite. When I see no lines, I get stressed out.
so
because you know what my journal will look like? All my handwriting will be slanted.
All right. So I didn't buy just one. All your donations went to me buying like 5 of them.
Nice.
Right. So why 5 of these for $20 each? Because I'm going to now, because these are all beat up the way that they are. They're beat up on every corner. Look at that. It looks like someone threw a roll of quarters at it.
It was well loved.
Right. Yeah. It was previously enjoyed. And so now I'm going to transfer this information into the journals. So I'm going to rewrite it and more organized. Obviously, in the moment of me reading, something stood out to me, like those paragraphs. So I'm going to extract this out and put it on something that is more. This is like the legacy project. Okay, these are the thing, the 84,000 teachings of the Buddha that meant something to the Venerable Chidao. So anyways, try to write things out, write everything out. And all right, so what you read to me, it was you typed it out. What did you type out again? Can you read it back to me?
Yeah, what I typed out was, I don't know why I was thinking about this, but it just came to my mind. So, in the sense of karma and the impacts it can have on your life, will the same consequences happen for like a child committing an unskillful act compared to an adult committing an unskillful act? Are those acts equal in karma?
The more we wonder about this, so You live in Virginia, the University of Virginia, done research on rebirth,
Hmm.
the Department of Perceptual Studies, and each child carries their own unique set of karmic debts.
Okay.
Karma is determined whether the child or adult willingly, knowingly, and intentionally committed that act at the time of the act. So, therefore, depends on the level of malice in their heart and mind at the time of carrying out that act, carries that weight. No different because there's no Lord Karma for me to like knock on his door and be like, "Hi, how you doing?" That's why we have judges and how judges now hand down sentences differently, and how we see, well, how is that fair when it's the same act and this judge gave this guy 5 years and the other guy 10 years. And
Mm.
when you read the legal guidelines, there's mitigating factors and aggravating factors and mitigating circumstances when it comes to sentencing guidelines. But see, that's why I bought this thing. I love this thing, this plastic thing. You see, that's why. See, everyone's like, "Oh, God, wow, he's serious about being a monk. He like done brought all these things." That's why. That's why I don't have Lord Karma to go over there and be like, "Hi, how you doing? I'm gonna put you down. I'm wondering when this child kills this person in this particular way, and this adult kills this person in this same particular identical way, how are you going to deal and sentence these guys, the karmic debts that is going to attach to this child and the karmic debts attached to that gentleman." And I'm going to imagine and postulate, make an educated guess, is that, Karma, this Lord Karma is going to be like, well, that ding dong right there is who's 50 years old, had done played his whole life, sensual desires, did not keep the precept, cheat, lie, kill, and steal. And the child really hasn't had that benefit of the doubt of studying the Dharma, and based upon where this child grew up, there was no existence of monks. So therefore, all he knew was to kill in this particular manner and way, and he killed to survive. So you can sit there and you can think about all of the unique ways, and we still can't arrive to this is a definitive answer of how this is going to actually work.
Mm.
And that's why the Buddha says, don't sit there and postulate too long about how karma actually works and for certain individuals, because no one knows. Only the Buddha knows. No one knows the mechanics of karma. And until this very day, even though we got it down to a legal science of sentencing guidelines, sometimes you just still ask the judge, like, why did you give this person 4 consecutive life sentences plus 90 years?
You think it's a little excessive?
And that has happened before. That's why I remember it. And then
You
there's
must have some real bad.
and then there is restorative justice, and then there's the district court of appeals, and there's appellate procedures and appellate procedures for um death sentences, and the lawyer that's going to work death sentence appeals need to be a lawyer at least 5 years, worked trials for X amount of years. It just goes on and on and on, and we may never really fully understand altogether um, and it's a big waste of time. I mean, obviously, see how much I'm sitting here thinking about the factors that is involved in it, and it has nothing to do with our suffering,
Mm.
nor the suffering of other people. And that's because we cannot knock on Lord Karma's door and ask him these questions, because we're not a paid lawyer. We're not being paid to analyze these cases. However, it is pertinent to know that they will probably take into consideration the time that you have or had, the people that you were with, what you got, and resources available to you. And if you played a little too long, played a little too hard, and you didn't give more and take less, you bet karma's going to come down on you quite hard,
Mm.
because it knows. The working of the universe knows. So There's a lot of
That makes
things.
sense.
There's a lot of things that is unexplainable, difficult to explain. Quite frankly, I just leave it up to whatever it is. All I know for you and for me is that our suffering now, physical and mental suffering now, is determined by previous actions that we've taken in previous lives and or in this lifetime combined together. And if we're
Mm,
suffering now, we still have residuals and remaining and residue that we have to resolve. And that's why I've been so busy serving the people and not sit here and look up Department of Perceptual Studies and read Rebirth because how's that beneficial for me? All I know is this is how the Buddha said it works. We don't need to dig any deeper because it's a waste of time, and that time can be used to dedicate our body, speech, and mind for the benefit of other people. That way, you start clearing out all of the salt in your tank and trying to make your tank a little bit more fresh water than salt water. And the salt is the karmic residue remaining remainders.
that makes sense.
Yeah. The analogy. Oh, I hold this mean looking thing up and like I get more viewers. Maybe I should do this from now on. Um, so
One
so
cold sight and videos.
right, people are like, oh boy, it would be Venerable Cheetah because no monk in the entire world would do this. So anyway, so that's that.
Those are the kind of questions I think of when I'm driving home for hours and I don't have anything better to do. I do have another question. This might not equally be a pointless question, but we'll see. I was also thinking about this, mostly because I was home with my parents all weekend. But
Hold on. Stop for a second. You said this is what you ponder about on your way home.
sometimes, yeah, my mind just goes. Maybe a little too much. Sometimes I forget that I'm driving. So my mind just goes. I think of all
You
kinds of
know,
stuff.
hold on. Yesterday, because of that heartbreaking witnessing of a suicidal 18-year-old teen inside the home, and I had to intervene because I had a duty. I had the privilege to know and a duty to act. And I came back at 12 o'clock at night last night. Last night I slept here in this office, and I said, "This is why I don't want to work anymore because I have no time to serve my students like you, to direct your mind where it needs to go. Because obviously, when I'm in the car and I catch my mind start wandering, I'm like, nope, I got to find Jayasaro and see what he's got new, Yutatamo and see what he's got new, Venerable Tanisaro, the empty cloud monastery, the clear mountain monastery, and see what it is they're talking, what's popping right now, so I can redirect my mind on absorbing, updating my software necessarily, and not to fool around with my time. So, I and when students report to me that I'm driving home and this is what I think about all of the useless stuff that we're not supposed to study right now, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this is why I don't want to work, and I don't work. I have to work to support myself and blah blah blah, and that spiel. And I have no time for my students, and I wish that I have more time for my students. So, anyways, so when you're driving and you need to redirect your mind and say this has nothing to do with my suffering, and it's not going to bring me any closer to studying rebirth.
Mm.
So I need to put my faith and confidence in my teacher, and my teacher says that this is how karma works. I'm going to take it at exactly as it is. And if you doubt the teacher and doubt the process and the teachings, well, you're going to be spending your entire life getting a PhD with the Department of Perceptual Studies, University of Virginia.
Which won't help me.
Right, which is not going to help you. Yeah.
I need to start listening to some of these podcasts or videos you're listening to.
And I sent you a bunch. You actually, that's why I do that. I'm a very good teacher. Someone give me a Teacher of the Year award, please. Because why I do that. I jam you up with so many videos, but you didn't watch them.
No, well, I was in the middle of driving, so
you need to prepare at this time for your sentencing. Please raise your right.
Am I being sentenced via the Reaper site?
Yeah, before I sentence you, at the time of entering your plea, are you under the influence of drug or alcohol or any prescription medication?
Not that I know of.
At the time of entering your plea, are you being diagnosed with any any mental health disorder that could affect your understanding of this plea.
Not that I know of.
You understand that by entering this plea, you're not a citizen of the United States, you can be deported.
Well, where would it be deported to?
Have you had ample time to consult with your attorney?
I don't have an attorney.
Are you satisfied with the assistance of counsel?
Sure.
I can be Lord Karma.
I feel like you've seen and witnessed a lot of those. You put that out perfectly.
That's why I'm a good teacher. And I have to redirect your mind where it needs to go. And I also punish myself when I'm not redirecting my mind. That's why I have 5 journals to catch up on, and that's why my desk over there, you don't want to see my desk, but I am disciplining myself. When you guys are not here, I'm disciplining myself. No, really, I am. And I'm like, you know what? You're a loser. Sit your ass down and go back to your field notes, go back to your Buddhism notes, sit and reflect. I'm always dragging. You'll never catch me here in St. Pete without my books dragging around me. Today, too, alone. And even today, I hung out with my teacher and the nun, but yet I realize, and it reminds me, young lady, that's why you got to have one of these. You go back to the last note, and obviously, I did not finish Venerable Ottamatara's book. It's right there. I'm going to show it to Bree.
Half finished.
I left off on page 38.
How many pages are there?
I left page. It's a very thin book, and I was very disappointed that I did what you were doing. So I'm guilty for the same thing that you did, which is I'm like, oh yeah, I think I figured it out, and then put it away and did not finish it completely. But then when I went back to my note, that's why I'm so detailed into the dates. And now I'm going back to see between that time, Jidao, how many books were you reading? Because you need to put the title of the books in front of this so that you are more organized about what books, because there's books on blah blah blah. So as I was going through, no HIPAA, right? Hold on. Okay. Ooh, that's accounting information. So, anyways, I went back to my notes, and I had saw that I stopped on page 38 of Venerable Ottamatara's book, and I'm like, oh no, you're reckless, Jidao. You're reckless. You're not going to get away with this. You're trying to finish the biography of the Buddha. You're trying to finish blah, blah, blah. And you haven't even finished this little thin, tiny book. You get your behind back in that office. You find this book. You sit down when you're not doing stuff. You read page 38 and forward, and you're going to take notes and then complete this book. And that's what you're going to do from now on this year. You're going to complete one book at a time. That's it. That's what I tell myself.
But I like how you also dedicate a notebook to it. I need to start doing that because I just put all of my notes in one notebook and then I don't remember where each note came from. That's way more organized.
You must have a system. You must have a system. I have so many systems in here to teach you. If you were here, you need to take your trip down here to June, right? May or June?
I'm hoping, yeah. No, I have to look.
No. You're not gonna hope. You better get your behind down here because when you're here, Bree, and you see me, you already see me. So, but when you see my system and you're like, wow, he's got it down to a system. It's no wonder why this man became one of the world's greatest young teacher in the world, because he's got a system and he's showing it to me, and I got to see it. I am now testament and living proof of what I saw, how the Venerable succeeded in the Dharma. This is systems of succeeding in the Dharma. It starts with little tiny stuff like this, of holding yourself accountable and not getting away with it. I have no one to answer to. I answer to no one, Bree. I am 37. I answer to no one. I have already graduated the internship, blah, 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 apprenticeship. But I do it to myself. And I says, no, sir. You're going to get your beep and get that book. And you're going to sit there and you're going to write it out. You're going to finish that book. And thus, now we're here. And that's why it's right over there, accessible. You can't make this stuff up. Hell yeah. So, anyways, I love you. You know that. I love you. And I'm not trying to be hard on you, but it's just the way I teach. And setting. Oh, and then I got my little bookmark. What is this? Oh, and the bookmark was today. Five. I like to submit Exhibit 5 for evidence, Your
The
Honor.
receipt.
On the bottom of the receipt, it says 5/13/24 at 1:14 p.m.
Hey, you started reading it again.
That's right. Until the Buddhist nun interrupted me. 5/13/24, 1:14 p.m. This is Social Security Administration, St. Petersburg, on 9th Street. There you go. See, I entered it into evidence in front of the whole world. And then I was at page 40. Ah, see, we went from page 37 or whatever I said earlier to now page 40. So if I'm holding myself responsible this way, all of you should too.
Yeah, no, I think tomorrow I'm gonna go and I've taken a lot of like notes in the book, and I think what I'm gonna do is like what you were saying. I'm gonna get a notebook and I'm gonna write out everything that I highlighted in the book and put it in that notebook like that.
But
So
now,
I do like annotating in the book, but I like the notebook idea too.
yeah, and I got something to show you again. Please enjoy the music while you wait. Okay, now as part of battling, when they have the going back to school thing, and everything is on sale and it's tax free in Florida, and it's like a notebook is literally like 40 cents, and I'm like, oh, 40 cents? Well, I have $10, so I'm gonna buy $10 worth of notebooks and stack it there and then hoard. I'm gonna hoard because it's gonna give me a sense of urgency that I have to go through this in 1 year. But obviously, y'all don't want to see that because then that's really extreme. But I will buy like a pack of these. So you just saw 3 that I held up. Okay. But here's a pack of them. Your Honor, I'd like to enter Exhibit 6.
This would be 4 or 5.
Exhibit 6 as evidence. And so, yeah, and then my challenge is, dear Venerable Chidao, you need to go through all of this in 6 months or a year. Should not wait a year. That's too long to even hear, say, internalize. 6 months. You need to go through as many notebooks as you can with the teachings and your clinical notes. So this is why, so it like gives you a sense of urgency, so you cannot be lazy, and it gives you a sense of excitement. You have to create excitement on the academic path because some of this stuff is really, really, really boring. Yeah, I agree, and it's repetitive. But hey, I'm like, I'm not coming back in this lifetime. I am towards the path of. I teach at Blissful Beginnings, folks. Blissful Beginnings in Pinellas Park. By appointment only. Now it's appointment only. So, hold on, where was I at?
So about making sure you complete those notebooks in the 6 months and getting enjoyment out of doing academic studies.
And then I'm like, well, you know what? I have full faith, belief in the Dharma, and that the teachings of the Buddha will lead me towards nirvana and enlightenment. I don't really care what other people think about nirvana and enlightenment. This is what it means to me. I'm going to get the hell out of this earth. I'm not coming back on earth. I'm going to be an arahant, and this is the process and the method to becoming an arahant effectively. Number 1, know your stuff. Number 2, remember your stuff. And number 3, apply it to meditation, and then you become an arahant. Done at a very high rate of speed. Now, yesterday's talk was on the cause of death over the 4 people that died. Simon Tasang died of a heart. His office 3 blocks from here. Heart attack, died in his car. Andy used to play the drums, dragon dance with me. Heart issues, dead. Kyle, motorcycle accident, hit a wall, no casket, no body, dead. And then Dr. Huynh, who died of cancer. But at least he knew that his time was up. He got a timeline. Bless his heart, bless Sydney and his children. But, so we don't have time to waste.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm very attached. Let me tell you how attached I am to these books. My little futon is right in front of me, 6 feet, right in front of me. And I sleep with this right next to me. Why? Because if I have one of those nights where I can't sleep and I'm like thinking about my next case, I have cases every day. I got a deposition tomorrow. I got 2 cases tomorrow. I got a heart case tomorrow, cardiology and a deposition 45 minutes apart. And sometimes I can't sleep and I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I can't sleep because I have so many stuff going on. So you know what? I'm not gonna go on YouTube. I'm gonna look to my left, and there's gonna be my books, and I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna read 3 pages. At least I'm 3 pages closer to the end.
That's true.
So I'm teaching you how this lawyer works in my head. A lawyer, a judge that sits up there and direct and redirect how I do things, so that I'm on top of my game. So then I can be on top of you guys. Because if I'm not on top of me, how can I tell you to do what I'm trying, I've been doing for decades,
Mm.
year after year?
I mean, clearly it works.
Right. So you know, so I want you. Someone says, "How much do I have to pay?" I teach for free, folks. I don't charge money. It's so funny. I'm inspiring people right now. They're like, "Oh my God, I want to be your student. I have to be your. I have to be your student." It's okay. I'm still a student to me. I'm my own teacher and a student. So, uh, so yes, I mean, hopefully to see you in May, and you come down, and when I, then I hold myself responsible to spend quality time with you and teach you and then give you worksheets too. There's worksheet to like program your mind to be psychologically organized. Maybe so organized that people are like, what? Yeah. So I have worksheets and I have been neglectful in passing out these, scanning it, sending it in emails. I make these promises online. I can't keep them. Like, yeah, I have these worksheets. They're like, send me email. And I'm like, oh my God, I just lost the worksheet. I don't know where it's at. Oh, I'm a horrible
It's not part of your
teacher.
system.
Right, right. I mean, some systems do fail. So yeah, I have no assistant, by the way. People don't donate money. I have no assistant. Um, that's why I have Ethan. I'm training Ethan right now. I'm training Ethan to become an interpreter. He's learning Vietnamese, even though he's Japanese. Imagine that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does he know Japanese?
No. Don't ask me why.
Okay.
But Eric, his brother, is no longer. They're all moving on with their young adult. They started off with adolescent with me. Now they're young adults and they're progressing forward. I don't have Steve anymore. I'm sitting at Steve's seat right now. And so, they're subject to change. I have no assistant to help me take this, take that, scan it, send it to, 500 people. I have no assistant. I am literally like one man that does it all. And every year I have to train new people. And every year I have to have this, this system, systems. So, anyways, but yeah, hopefully you do come down because I'm getting ready to haul butt soon overseas again. And if this,
So when were you leaving? Just so I have a timeline. Is there an exact time you're leaving to hold back over?
my, oh my God, this dude is like me and my girlfriend want an appointment with you. Okay, text me 727. Someone write this 727. So adorable. They keep on typing. We want an appointment with you right away. Fine.
Changing lives.
Yeah. All right. I just published 727-637-3490. You can text me right away. We'll talk after this or tomorrow if I don't collapse. And me and my dad were talking about a place. I don't want to tell everyone where I'm going. I keep it a secret because I'm a celebrity, Buddhist monk, and I'll tell you later. I'll text you to you later, but probably 2 to 3 more months. I'm hoping because my vacation was incomplete and I'm trying to finish my book. I'm trying to finish a lot of things and I can't finish it. But I'm here. Karma left me alone, thank God. When I was overseas taking a vacation, it's like karma's real. Karma really have a system of keeping track of me and everybody else because it knows when I'm trying to rest and not to like jam me up with counseling sessions and all this other stuff. Oh my God, this laptop's gonna die. Where's my cord?
Honestly, I feel that though because right when I had my car accident, I was starting to stress about life and everything, and like felt like everything was like flying by me. And then Lord Karma was like, "You need to calm down, man."
I need my charger.
An accident.
And the way how I move in this office is very quick and fast. Very quick and fast. Look, I try
You
to
have most
I
trips.
try to preserve the earth. This is a battery pack and solar power. So I try to eliminate carbon dioxide, monoxide, whatever. Same thing. Not same. Not same. And and Ethan moves a little slow. I'm like, Ethan, move faster, run. A monk running, it's not good. If you see a monk running, you run too. Um, but anyways, I'm trying to condition the kid to be effective and efficient, not to waste time. And he just sent me a text message saying that he's studying the alphabet in Vietnamese right now. So therefore, yeah. So Ethan gets a portion of the donations that people give, and when there's no dollar amount, then I use my salary, my income, and give him like 20-30 bucks, so that he can, he's now getting into that working mode, that I want to earn money mode at age 13 as a novice. But I give exceptions to novices who live in America, that they can work and earn money. Same thing like me, because nobody donates. So anyways, but yes. So hopefully, he's going to be a longitudinal study, and he's going to be a longitudinal study, and it's like super exciting to watch baby Monk grow up and become the next Jidao.
And you have a baby monk. You were so excited about them when you were over in Thailand.
Yeah, and Venerable Don just took in, I think, an orphan infant, and he was washing the baby and clothing it and feeding it with a spoon, and I was like, I died. Every
It is a
part of
baby
me
monk.
died, and I wanted to just go back to Laos like right now. I just want to book a ticket right now on Expedia and just go. Because he's raising an army of monks.
Baby monks, it sounds like.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just some really good stuff. So it's a lot to look forward to from a monastic standpoint. Any questions from the book?
Mm, let's see.
Play with this, draw more people in to my live. Where can I access your teaching? It's on YouTube. Most of my in-depth teaching is on YouTube.
Oh, actually, I did have another question. I definitely did not type this one. Also,
Sure, have
I
at
did
it.
type it. The question was, and this might be a question again that's just like really pointless, and I'm just a curious individual that likes knowledge and sometimes pointless knowledge. But so in Buddhism, if we don't necessarily worry about God or gods or other religions and their viewpoints and beliefs, and is there like heavens, like part of the heaven realm in Buddhism, or are they just like separate entities?
There are. One of the realms is called Asura realms. Asura. And the demigods realm, and Ajahn, what's his name? Sona. Ajahn Sona talks about those realms in great detail. So if you like fantasy, you can go and listen to that. But not with my program in clinical Buddhism. We don't focus on that, and like, who really cares? Because it's them describing this great tasty apple, and this apple tastes like $500 at the finest restaurant you will ever see and feel in the entirety of your life, and what this life can afford for you to come to this restaurant and eat this golden apple. And it's like, wow, I'm reading about this apple and I really want to taste it, but you're not going to be able to taste it until you die. So any realms that you read that is, the Garden of Adam and Eve, it's fantasy, unrelated to suffering, unrelated to the alleviation of suffering. So number one, make your own heaven here on earth, and number two, don't get wander off a little too far about that. a lot of other school of Buddhism also explains life after death and the bardos and the ding dongs and the yin yangs. And unrelated, irrelevant, objection, irrelevant, Your Honor. So you just got to reel yourself back in. You know, Ajahn Sona and another monk, I forgot his name, but they were just at it for hours talking about the Asura realms and this realm and that realm, and the demigods fly up and down, and the demigods enjoy sensual pleasures, and they're afraid, and you know their butt cheeks tighten up when the Buddha comes and visit them. And when the Buddha comes and visit them, they realize that, oh, well, we're enjoying this, and it's going to be very impermanent because we realize we're going to take rebirth again. So the demigod realms are, yeah, well, keep dancing because you ain't going to dance for long, but so, yeah, I get a kick and I'm like, yeah, well, this is really good entertainment. How do I go back to the biography of the Buddha and finish this darn thing?
You're like, what does this pertain to my personal?
Well, I mean, it's great to hear. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Well, when I'm dead, I'll find out how the Asura realm is going to be. When I'm dead, I'll find out if I'm actually going to be reborn in the hell realm or not. So the goal it provokes wise fear when it comes to that type of realm. But how about we not try to taste the hell realm, because obviously you had attachment at time of death, unwholesome deeds, thoughts, and action at time of death. So if you really want to go that route, then yeah, have at it. I'm not trying to go there. So where I'm trying to go, and most comforted in the next biography that you read, so you need to finish the first biography. And the second one, in according to the Pali Canon, is when they start talking about heaven of the contented. Oh,
yeah, you talked about this one before.
Music to my ears, heaven of the contented. Oh yeah, I'm contented right now reading about the heaven of the contented. So
that's where we want to go.
That's where we want to go. Exactly. So that right there is like good. It has clinical applications for your mind to fall into this fantasy that yes, there is something called heaven of the contented. And quite frankly, you can create that in this lifetime. Just chill, don't do bad, do good, purify your mind, find a wise friend on the path, a good partner, in love or not, then that will be the heaven of the contented. This week, I met a lot of couples, and I blessed a lot of couples along the way. And I saw both of them, and I'm like, you both are very contented with each other. Yes? And they're like, and they are. And you look at the peace in their face, these human encounters that I had, and look directly in their face, and you realize that you're contented. Yeah, indeed, you've had like 5 marriages, but now you're contented on your 6th. And it's okay because school don't teach us how to love. So I get it. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to understand. And so, it was a beautiful thing. So yeah, create your own heaven of the contented here. Be content in this heaven that you can create. That's a possibility.
That makes sense. Which made me think of, there was this really interesting conversation I had with a friend over the weekend. This is a friend I've had since college, and was there for me during some really rough times, and has since had the opportunity to watch me kind of come out of that and grow and heal and be a better person and be in a better mental state. And they said something that kind of floored me, and I didn't know how to respond. But there was also like this weird pride I got out of it, which maybe that's not the right word to use, but they said, I don't know how to relate to you anymore because you're not constantly suffering anymore. How do I relate to you if I'm not, constantly in a place of where I need to vent about something? I didn't know how to respond to that.
Well, you turn it back on a clinical question, which is, I'm trying to live the chill life and not suffer, because who wants to suffer? Who wants to suffer? And what type of suffering do you actually really want? and to what degree and intensity and depth of that suffering do you actually want to experience? Is birth, old age, disease, decay, and subsequent death enough for you, or you want more? Or do you want to be in the deathless state? So you turn that around on them, and they realize, oh my God, she's an arahant. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm enlightened. Oh my God, just a couple of that sentence, I'm enlightened. You know? So our job is to try to liberate people by and through the effective use of our words because we have studied the Four Noble Truth effectively.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I've definitely sent them your information, your page before. I'm like, this is what it was. Like, take a look. I've said it's a lot of hard work.
And if they like suffering and the type of suffering that they like to be in this realm, like I did the psycho BS thing on my YouTube, and so many people were like, "Oh my God!" And then one comment was, "Wait, you can break the cycle?" Yes, Felicia, you can break the cycle. The hell? No, but the
That's
people
kinda
were
the
really
point.
trapped. People were really trapped in their psycho BS, and I felt really bad when I read that, and I was like, "Oh my God." Well, I'm glad I made that video. Over the past month, and I apologize for all of my viewers. I've been very feisty month, very straightforward. You just see me changing right now as becoming a John, becoming a teacher. I mean, I'm already a teacher, but becoming like a seasoned, seasoned, sometimes grumpy teacher, but necessarily and effectively necessary for the world, for the emerging complicated minds that I'm trying to tame. But yeah, I did the psycho BS, and someone was like, "You can break that." Yeah, you can break that tonight. When you say I've had enough with this BS with my family, BS with my whoever ding dong that you're dating, BS with work and the supervisors at work, go break the cycle, get out of
You
your
just gotta
comfort
decide
zone.
to do it.
Yeah,
I think that's the hardest part is making that choice.
yeah.
But I just found it was an enlightening experience of itself. 'Cause I was like, on one hand, I was like happy that we couldn't relate in the destructive way that we could relate to at one point in time. You
Mm,
know,
mm.
but I thought that was interesting.
Spunky monk. Someone called me spunky monk. Someone says feisty is needed right now. I love my TikTok fans.
Spunky mug. Can you please change like your username for that?
Oh my God, let me snapshot this. Oh my God, that's so cute and adorable. One, two. How about I put this grimy thing away? Oh my God, I love my TikTok fans. The Spunky Monk. Well, how do we find you on on Spunky Monk?
Oh, Spunky mug.
Spunkymonk at gmail.com. Nobody ever
They won't.
create that. I want that for myself.
They won't think you're serious.
I
That's
know.
the funniest part.
I know. They'd be like, "You a real monk, bro?" Any more questions on Buddhism?
No, I think if anything, you've given me a lot to work on. Tomorrow. I'm gonna go get notebooks.
Are you content and satisfied with the assistance of the Venerable?
I'm always content and satisfied. If anything, I'll leave with more questions.
You have 30 days to appeal.
Okay, that's a lot of time.
You have 30 to appeal.
That's better.
All right. So, reel yourself back in, start this steno notebook thing. And I need to send you more stuff. I need to send you some more encouraging stuff. But I can't send it to you, Bree.
What was that? Okay, UFO.
A ghost. A ghost
Oh,
was
perfect.
hanging out with me. Um, uh, Positive reinforcement. Operant conditioning. So I need Miss Bree to stay on top of her stuff so I can have reasons to send you more leather journals.
Can I have a mini Grim Reaper scythe?
This thing's pretty old. This thing was $18 at the flea market. They made it. They printed this out of a 3D printer machine.
What? That's awesome.
$18. And I looked at it. Me and Ethan went, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy that. And I dragged it in the car, and people were looking at us like, this is a little different. John, have a 13-year-old with you, and you're holding this, walking in public, and shoving this inside of a car with a 13-year-old monk that's gonna sit next to you.
I'm gonna say, were you both in robes? That would be hilarious.
Yes, we were orange robes. This is red, so it's like, hey, look, it looks like, hey, I'm gonna kill this kid. Oh God, this is not Halloween. This is the wrong time to buy these kind of props. But I need it for death meditation, and because there were so many deaths this past week, I make very compelling videos on teachings. So, all right, very good. Let's try to finish the book and jump into. I've been slow because I neglected this tiny thing right here. So I'm trying to finish it so you can catch up to me and even excel me so I can brag and tell the whole world that she is winning the race. Between me and Bree, she's winning in reading the biography of the Buddha, and this is not cool. I need to do some more reading. So, right, yeah, I'm a little slow in the biography right now. So I need to finish this, then go back to it. So you have time to catch up. You have the opportunity to catch up and, you know, win this race with me.
Okay, all right. Challenge accepted.
Win this race with me. Okay, all right. I'm exhausted. We're gonna reconvene, and we meet every week or every 2 weeks.
Me and you
Yeah.
every week.
Oh, I need some pills for memory.
I would
Okay.
say, we've been doing that for like 2 years.
Dementia on the way. All right. So I'm gonna put all this props away, and then see you next week, Miss Bree. And yeah, play that game with your mother next time. I'm gonna get in trouble for instructing some of the things that I'm instructing to my students. But you know when
Okay, I'm of legal age.
yeah, when they're like, oh, we were so nice to you're delusional. But you know we loved you the best that we could. You're delusional. But you know, but how about we can start over as mom and daughter? You're delusional. I'm becoming an arahant, and you're far from Buddhism, so you're delusional. So, oh my God.
I'm just gonna record that one day.
It's recorded right now. Don't show this
no,
to your
me
mother.
doing it to my mom.
Oh hell! Oh my God! I'm telling you, praise and blame. The controversial Venerable Chi Dao. He came, he conquered, and then he left. But he left with an impact. All right. Have a good night, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Thank you all for being wonderful listeners and joining from across the world. Hopefully, I entertained all of you. Please take your path seriously and become liberated at a very high rate of speed. I don't need any more funerals in the next month. So please stay alive. Okay? Take care, Miss Bree. Till the next time.
Have a good night.
Take care. Bye bye. Oh, I'm blind. I'm tired. Gotta go. Hold on before I turn off YouTube. Please get with me my email, the one Vietnamese interpreter at Gmail, or my phone that I published earlier, 727-637-3490. So I know some of y'all got a kick out of tonight's talk, so you guys can visit me on there. And hot shot, I'm gonna get on the phone with you as I'm trying to move some things around this office. Let me call my mother real quick here. Call speaker of the house. Yeah, my mom's speaker of the house because she's talking.